Good morning, good morning, good morning to everyone. Hopefully, you've had a good weekend so far. I'm just still setting up, running late as usual, with tech problems. But welcome to another Sunday Live, where we do a 20-question mock test, do a live demonstration of hazard perception towards the end to make sure you guys fully understand it. Remember, if you guys got any questions, please put it in the chat. Let me help you to pass your theory test, especially if you've got one coming up this week or anytime soon. But please put a Q semicolon. It just makes it a lot easier for me to see it, so I don't miss it because it looks like a comment otherwise. So let's just get my windows up to see if anybody's here listening first and foremost. Seems good to go. Right, let's go to this one so we can see the comments. Wow, Caroline Rankin, long time no see. Hopefully you are well. What's happening with you? It's been a while. Annette, welcome. Sandra, welcome. Aman, welcome. Christina. I see quite a new names that I've not seen there before, so all welcome. If you guys got any questions, if you are new, just say that you're new, let me know. And welcome along. If you have got questions, if you've got a test coming up, let us know what your journey has been. For Luke, good morning to you. Hopefully you are well. Right, so let me just reset this camera because it's just a little bit too zoomed in. Right, so as I mentioned, we are going to do a 20-question mock test. I will do a live demonstration of the hazard perception, do a couple of clips, explain what you should be clicking on, how you should be clicking, how you beat the system, because some of you are still struggling on that. It's funny because I had a few emails this week, people's passing the theory test in terms of the questions, but failing on the hazard perception, which failing is not a good thing at the best of times. But so I'm just reading Sylvia's comment. You need to let me know what you need help on, because you just, like I just commented on, I've had a few emails this week, students passing the question side of it, but failing on the hazard perception, which, like I said, failing is a bad thing, and well, not a bad thing, but it's not a good feeling. That's a better way of phrasing it. It's not a good feeling. But for me, the worst way of failing is failing on the hazard perception, because the hazard perception is the easier side of it. The questions, you just don't know what questions you're going to get. And as we're going through the boot camp, I think the students are starting to realize the common mistakes. It's not lack of knowledge why they're failing the question side of it. It's because they fall into the traps that people do, which we talk about in the boot camp, which is reading the questions too fast, not reading the answers properly, or not understanding what they are asking, or not thinking safety. That all came up this week in the boot camp. So yeah, it's not just lack of knowledge sometimes, it's literally you guys making basic mistakes, which I'll probably do a video on that, just to clarify. But anyway, good morning, Steve. How are you? You're new, 42, so you got 8 questions wrong. 56 has perceptions, fine. I would suggest the paperwork they gave you, it says last week, so hopefully you hang on to that paperwork. Look at the questions, on the paperwork they gave you, go down, look at the categories. They will give you a breakdown of the categories you got the questions wrong in. If you got 42, that would normally mean you got at least 5 categories wrong, which is just a little over a third of the categories. And then restudy those categories and then start to do mock tests again. When you do mock tests, make sure those categories aren't still coming up as a weakness, because that will suggest you still don't understand it. And then I would look to be taking another theory test. But don't neglect the hazard perception. Just because you pass it this time around, it doesn't mean to say you will pass it the next time around. So don't neglect that, but still focus on the questions. And hopefully I'm not butchering your name. You're new, welcome. Diana, welcome back. Nice to see you. Steve's new. Caroline's got a test on Wednesday. Again, Caroline, if you've got any questions, because you're a long time subscriber to the channel and watcher of the channel, to be fair, if you've got any questions, type it in the chat. Let me know, so I can send you in there nice and confident for Wednesday. All right, what I'm going to do is do a quick overview, as I always do. I'm assuming that's passed my theory test yesterday. Well done. First attempt with your videos, 46 out of 50, 60 on the hazard perception. Well done to you. Let us know what your next step is. But thank you for coming to the live and letting me know how you got on. I appreciate, to be fair, I appreciate all you guys coming to the live. But pass or fail, letting me know just means if you're failing, I've got to put a lot more work in to get you guys to understand. If you're passing, my job's being done. New, welcome. Welcome. Sandra, you're saying that you've got your test next week, you've completed the learner plan, right? There's completing and there's completing. So when you say completing, are you passing? That's the key. You can complete all the questions, but if you're still failing, then technically you're not completed it. So the question is, I've got to ask you, are you passing the hazard perception? Are you passing the questions on a regular? So are you passing mock tests on a regular basis? Right, so let me do a quick overview. So it's first time live. I've been watching for a while, so hopefully you've learned stuff from that, and hopefully you learn stuff from the live and keep coming back until you pass. Oh, that's good news that your mum's coming out. I wish her well, wish her a quick recovery as well. But yeah, just take it easy. Trust me, I've been in that situation last year, so I know what being in hospital's like. It's not a good experience, but anyway, let me do a quick overview and then we'll get on to the questions, because that's what you guys come in for. Let me get rid of this. Right, so it's 50 questions. If you didn't know, your theory test is based on 50 questions. You have 57 minutes to complete those 50 questions, and your questions are made up of 14 categories. The theory test has 14 categories, like road signs, attitude, safety, incidents, accidents and emergencies, vulnerable road users, blah, blah, blah. So it's 14 categories. You will get questions from each category. So it could be 5 road signs, 5 incidents, emergencies, 2 safety margins, stuff like that. So you don't know what combination of your 50 questions. That's why I always say, do all the categories so you fully understand it. If there's 10 of you in that room when you're taking a test, it's 10 different tests. It's not the same test for everyone. It's random. And that's the reason why I say study each category in turn, because you don't know what set of questions you're going to get. Again, which is common, I'm still getting this every single week, even though I keep saying it on the lives and in the videos. The questions are sampled questions on the app. So regardless of what app you use, they're sampled questions and not the real questions. So when you go for the real test, it's going to be worded slightly differently, or there's going to be questions that you have never, ever seen before. But the answer is always still going to be the same. It's going to lead to safety. So as I mentioned, 57 minutes you got to do that. You need 43 to pass. So in that 57 minutes, you have to get 43 or more to pass. If you get 42 or less, obviously it's going to be a fail. But once you've done that, you move on to the hazard perception, which is 14 videos. 13 of them have single hazard, which means you can score a maximum of 5. One of them's got a double, 2 5, score 10. You need to average at least a 3 across the board. So once you click finish, if your average isn't 3 per video, then it's going to be a fail. So you need a minimum of 3. Ideally, you want 4s and 5s and a nice 7 or 8 on your double, just to bring the average up, just in case you do get a 1 or 2 or even a 0 on that. You have to pass both parts same day, same time to pass the theory test. The answers, as I mentioned earlier on, regardless of what question you get, whether you've seen it before or not, it's going to lead to a safe outcome. It's always going to be safe, 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 safe. And that's the reason why you need to understand the question. So you know what they're asking you, so you can choose the safest option out of your 4 choices. If it doesn't lead to safety, then it's going to lead to a controlled outcome, which is normally your motorways or first aid, and normally a controlled outcome. So that's what your theory test is about. Your driving test is the same. It leads to safety and control. The theory test is no different. So Christina, good morning to you. Silver, just multiple choice. Don't know what you mean by that. Maybe I missed a comment earlier on. What you mean by just multiple choice? What part of South East London? Type in the chat what part of South East London, because I used to work down there, used to live down there. And if it's near, I may be able to hook you up. But again, it's down to the availability. But let me know in the chat what part of South East London. Right in next week using your videos to stay on track. Thank you. Again, if you've got any questions, type it in while we're live. Dolores, welcome. I am good. Hopefully you are as well. Fayomi is passed on Monday. Congratulations on passing. Thank you for coming back and let me know that you passed. Let me know what you're doing next, driving lessons or driving tests. Portia, welcome. How are you? That question is the most common question I get asked most of the time. I will add as well, sorry, for the rest of you moving forward, if you have got a question, please put a Q semicolon, because it's going to get crazy now when we start for multiple choice. The answer is you got to open up both barriers. So whatever option or whatever way they word it, the both barriers have got to be open. Let me just break down what you're saying. I have a question that I came across during my exam. It said if you are answering it's at the level crossing and the official at the post said it's safe to carry on, but both barriers are down, what will you do? You need to open up both barriers first so you can drive across without stopping. The common answer, I think, is open one barrier at a time or something like that. Think about it. If you open one barrier, drive, you're now on the tracks. Then you got to open up the next barrier, jump in your car, and then drive on. Now, if a train is coming while you open up the second barrier, you know what the outcome's going to be. It doesn't lead to safety. So you're looking for the one that says open up both barriers first and then drive across without stopping. And that's the answer to that one. That question I get a lot in the emails and comments on YouTube. Kai, welcome to you. Right, so I'm going to start and I'm still going to go through the comments. So keep them coming in. Remember, if you've got any questions, please let me show you what it looks like. It should be a Q, semicolon, and then your question asked afterwards. And that way I don't miss it. I'm just trying to find where I was before. How many of you are here? 95 people are here and it's only 10:14. I thank each and every one of you for getting up early enough on your Sunday when you could be lying in and joining me on the live. I appreciate that. Right, so let me get my screen up so you can see it. For those of you that are new, what we do is read the question first. Let me just get my cursor up. Hold on, let me just get a proper one up. Right, so hopefully you can see this one better. Right, there we go. Read the question first. Look at the image if there's an image, because sometimes there's clues in the image. Some of you are neglecting that. Just a quick glance, then go looking for your answer. I would always suggest you read the question first, take in the information in the image, and then go to your options. This will be A for those of you that are new. This is B, this is C, and this is D. So please put the question number first and then the letter of choice of your options. If you think it's A, then put question 1 and then A, because there's a delay between me and YouTube, you and YouTube. And I always want to make sure we're on the same number as we move forwards. So the question, let me read it out. What should you do if you want to turn left at a junction where pedestrians have started to cross? So what should you do? No problem, you're welcome. That's what I'm here for, to help you out where possible. Oh, Sayi, 48 out of 50. Missed it by 2, the magical 50, 52 out of 75. And you had 2 marks unacceptable. So here's a prime example I'm talking about. You've got to average a minimum of 3 on your hazard perception. So you turned around and said they had 2 marks unacceptable, which means they clicked too many times or in a rhythmic pattern on the hazard perception, which means they gave you a 0 regardless of what score you got. So they got 2 zeros and still got 52. You need 44 to pass. So congratulations on that. So if you do get a 0, don't panic, don't freak out. Like I said, as long as your average is more than 3 at the end of it, you're still passing. BMW 33, long time no see. Hopefully you are well. 12th of March, that's a little way away. That's just over a month. So you've got another 3 lives at least. So while you're studying, write down any questions, bring them to the live. Let me answer them for you. Rossi, passed my test yesterday. Well done to you. Congrats. No problem. You're welcome. Thank you for coming to the live. Let me know. Let me know what you're doing next. Lessons or driving test. Samuel's a silent follower and broke your silence to let me know that you passed your theory test on the first attempt, 47 out of 50 and 60 out of 75, which is another high score. Well done to you. Despite getting 0 in for double hazards. So that's a -10 before you even get going and still pass with a 60, which is high. So well done to you. And again, this is examples to you guys panicking and freaking out on his perception. You can get 0s and he's got a 0 on the double. That's like I said, that's a -10 before you start. So the maximum you could have got with a double on the 0 is 65. And you got 60. Wow, that's amazing. Well done to you. Congrats. Let me know what you're going to do next. Yaz, good morning to you. No problem. Right, let me go to the answer because you're not here to hear me waffle on. Ones. Garnet, how are you? How's the lessons going? And man, please put the question number. I know because you're number 1. I know what you're talking about, but moving forwards, please put 2, 3, whatever the question is. Moving forwards. Garnet, I actually saw your message. I don't think I responded. It's been a busy week. I saw your message about changing your test to Luton. So hopefully that date is a good date for you that you change it to. So if it is, Licious Love, welcome to you. No problem, no apologies to be on the first question, so no apologies needed. I'm just glad that you're here. Don't mind what time you turn up as long as you're here. It's nice. Right, most of you gone for C. Yes, I am good, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, most have gone for C, so let's just go straight to give way to them. Yeah, if they're in the road, you can't run them over, you can't drive around them, so the safest option is going to give them way. Can you see that? Yes. What should you do when you're approaching this crossing? Again, look at the image and then go from there. But please put the question number for those of you that didn't on the first time round. Let me catch up with the comments. Francisca, good morning to you. Sandra saying she's passing. Then you're 48, between 48 and 50. Then technically you're good to go. Doing lessons since January. Hopefully that's going well for you. Annabelle, good morning to you. 12th of March, again, you've got just over a month, just less than a month. So again, you've got a few more lives on the Sunday. Please bring the questions along. Well, let's change that. Failed last 2 times. Let's get the third time lucky. Alicia, good morning to you. Francisca. Don't think that way, because if you start thinking that way, you're probably going to fail the next one out. Failing it's not a nice feeling, like I said to you before. But it's positive, it's data. It's giving you more knowledge. Each time you fail, each time you're getting stronger, you just don't realize it or feel like it. But once you start to think, I don't think I'm going to pass, to be honest, you already told yourself you're going to fail. Just be a bit more positive than that. Failing is not a disaster. Giving up is a disaster, because you're never going to pass if you fail. So just keep going. You got me on the Sunday. You got the videos on the channel. Let's work together to get this sorted out. Always think positive. There's a reason for some stuff behind issues. Grove Park. Yeah, that's out of my area, unfortunately. Catford. Yeah, that's out of my area. So unfortunately, I can't help you with that. All right, let's get to number 2. I'll come back to that. Let me start at Grove Park and Catford. Let me give that some thought while I'm on the live. Number two. C again. It's like a C again. That's not good. Yeah, most of you are in agreement. So there's 2 C's on the trot. C. Prepare to slow down. Yeah, there's someone there, zebra crossing. Give way to someone at zebra crossing. So be prepared to slow down and stop. When are you allowed to park in a parking bay for disabled drivers? When are you allowed? I need a good driving instructor in Harrow. I've been driving in Nigeria for more than 10 years. That's going to be, if you live in Harrow, it's going to be a Google job. You're going to have to Google or ask friends and family. And if you've been driving in Nigeria for 10 years, you're definitely going to need a driving instructor, because you're going to have bad habits. In my experience, teaching drivers from another country, they got bad habits. Just because you can drive in another country doesn't mean you can pass a UK driving test. There's a difference. So you've got to make sure you take driving lessons to iron out the stuff the examiner will not accept. There's certain bad habits you can have that's acceptable, and there's some that aren't. But a good driving instructor will iron it out. No problem with that. Hi, Sim. How are you? 2 weeks. Got another 2 lives. Again, ask questions. I am good, Dolores. There isn't. The waiting time is long at the moment. I would suggest, again, everyone's doing it, so it may take a few Mondays. Getting up early, getting up nice and early on a Monday morning, about 5 to 6, 10 to 6. Be online, for 10 to 6, 5 to 6. And then when the DVSA releases their dates on Mondays, at that time, hopefully you're online to get a date and pick it up. So like I said, it may be a few Mondays, but you just have to go for that early morning feeding on Monday morning. That's the easiest way of doing it. There's cancellation apps, which I suggest you try as well, but you may need to pay over the odds for that. It all depends how important the test is for you. Unfortunately, the waiting time is long everywhere. Right, so what are we on? Number 3. Let's get to the 3s. And I'll come back to the comments. Right, so at least it's not a C this time. It's a different letter. And you're all in agreement. All D's. Yeah, all D's. When you have a blue badge, yes. When you got a disability badge, which you got to leave in the window. Right, what do you need before you can legally use a motor vehicle on the road? So what do you need? They should give you 3 chances if you fail. not make you come back again 3 weeks later when you've forgotten it all. I'm not sure what you're relating that to. Is that theory test or the driving test? They should give you 3 chances if you fail, not to make you come back again 3 weeks later. Just explain what you mean by that, and what you're relating it to, the theory test or the driving test. They should give you 3 chances. If you're relating that to the theory test, you've got more than 3 chances. Do you mean give you 3 chances to pass it there and then, or 3 chances afterwards and that's it? Just explain what you mean by that. Interesting. Now we've got difference of opinion. So B's and D's. Right, but the majority is a B, so I've got to assume B's correct. Right, so B's and D's, right. What do you need before you can legally drive? B is a common answer. Driver's license is going to be correct. You need an appropriate driver's license or proper, for the vehicle that you're driving. If you have an accident, the first thing the police are called, the first thing they're going to see is your driver's license to make sure you have the license for that appropriate vehicle. Just in case you guys didn't know, you are studying or going to look to take a car driving test, which is category B, which is standard for a provisional license. Once you get to the certain ages of, I think it's 25 up, then you can do your lorries, minibuses, LGVs, and all the rest of it. Someone went for D, brake. You don't need breakdown cover to drive a vehicle. That's just in case you break down. What should you do if the traffic in the left-hand lane is slowing? So again, look at the image. There's clues there, and then go for your options. Let me just catch up with you guys in the chat. Hi, Abida, I'm fine, thank you. Congratulations on passing. 46 out of 50, 61 out of 75 is a high score. Well done to you. Aziza, so you got this month. So it's Monday week. So hopefully you get a better result this time round. Again, if you've got any questions, put it in the chat. Studs, if I've got time, I'll do that. Let me just put that in the inbox. If I've got time, I'll do that. But there's a video on the channel which explains that. Motorway Studs explains in a very simple, about 2-minute video. Francisco giving you a simple breakdown. Green slip roads. On the left is red, white in the middle, amber's on the right. But like I said, I'll try to explain that a little bit more if I can. I've got time on the live. It's the same color at night. It lights up. It's called cat's eyes. As you're driving, your lights, your lights hit it and it still glows. And that way you know what lane you're in. Right, what are we on? 5. All B's. Some of you are still not putting the question number. Please put the question number so I know what question we're on. Sorry, what was the common answer? B, slow down, keep a safe separation distance. Left hand lane slowing down. Yeah, it's got safe in the answer. So we've got a short list as a possible. Which sign means that start again. Which sign means that pedestrians may be walking along the road? Again, take a look at the images. Which sign means that pedestrians may be walking along the road? Samuel, you got your driving test on Tuesday, which is this Tuesday coming up. Well, first of all, I wish you the best of luck with that. What test centre are you taking it at? Out of interest. With your driving test, take your time on your driving test. You're not in a rush. The examiner's going to get you to park up on the left a minimum 4 times, which is uphill. Dan, if you are talking about your driving test, or you mean driving theory test, just let me know which one. But if you're talking about your driving test, the examiner will get you to park up on the left a minimum 4 times, which is uphill, downhill, level grade, and angle start. He will say to you, or they will say to you, because it could be a she, drive on when you're ready. It is when you're ready. That's when you want to take your time, breathe, think about what they're asking you for, which is your blind spot checks before moving off. If you're doing manual, then obviously find the button point, all the rest of it. If you're doing automatic, it makes life a little bit easier with that. But main thing, when he pulled you up on the left, that's the time to take a deep breath, think about what you're trying to do, and think about your blind spots. Don't take risk on your driving test. I would suggest, is what I teach my pupils, ask yourself, is it safe to go at any given situation, especially giveaway lines and roundabouts? Because if the answer is yes, then it's going to be safe. If it's no, or I'm not quite sure, then don't do it. Some little tips for you then for your driving test, if that's what you're talking about. What are we on? 6. But Samuel, yeah, let me know what test center you're taking your test at. Some of you still not putting a question number. Right, this is difference of opinion. Most of you have gone for A, but quite a few have gone for C. Right, let's read the question. Which sign means that pedestrians may be A and C? Right, first of all, let me give you a little tip. Let me get my so let me just do this first. I can't move over. Right, with signs and images, this is what we talk about in the boot camp. Always imagine that you're going up. I say on my videos. Well, let me do it on here. Right, always imagine that you're going up with signs and images. So C, some of you went for C. If you're going up, they're crossing your path. So if you imagine that you're going up, they're crossing your path. The children are crossing your path technically, but it's a school area. These guys are crossing your path. So the only one which walking along the road would be this one, it's A. And also clues tip, like I said, read the question carefully, because sometimes there's clues, what I call golden nuggets. It says pedestrians, which means 2 or more. Single, get rid as an answer. It's got 2 in this one, 2 in this one, 2 in this one. So you're now left with 1 in 3 chance of being right. If you break it down, it says walking along the road, not crossing your path. That's why I say with signs and images, always imagine you're going up. So all of these technically are crossing, these 2, get rid. This one's coming towards you. So that's why it's this one. There's pedestrians walking in the road, i.e. no pavement. Right, there was an issue with YouTube. Let me know if you guys are still there, because all the comments have gone. So just type yes, you can still hear me and see me. Apparently there's an internet issue. Oh, sorry, a YouTube issue. So I'm just waiting for you guys to type. Let me know if you can still hear me. Just type yes for you can still hear me. And see me, obviously. Right, you guys are saying yes. Right, because a message came up saying there was a problem with YouTube streaming. Okay, you're still there. Sorry, let me still answer the Goose question. So, yeah, so I don't know how much you heard because it did cut off apparently. Your son can apply for his provisional 6 months before his 17th birthday. And then obviously if he's still watching the channel by then, he'd be good to go, take his tests or book it for close to his 17th birthday and pass. And then obviously he can get on with his driving lessons and then pass that. And hopefully by then, when he's 17, the waiting time is not that long. So you better start saving up for his car. Because if you promise him, he's going to want that. Southampton near the seaside or the seafront. Okay. I've been to Southampton, but I don't know what the test routes are like down there. So hopefully you've been practicing on that. But I wish you luck with that though. But yeah, just take your time. You're not in a rush on your driving test. Just think safety, safety, safety. No different from your theory test. All examiner wants to see is that you're going to deliver a safe and controlled drive. But I would suggest at giveaway lines and roundabouts, ask yourself, is it safe for me to go? Get a positive yes. And then if it is, you go. If it's a no, don't do it. Thank you guys for typing in yes. Appreciate that. Right. Some of you have gone for A as well, but the majority of you have gone for D. So I have to assume that D is correct. All right, let's take a look. A, what was the other option? A. Question, what lights should you use when you're driving on a wet motorway? A little tip again for you guys taking a test. This is a bog standard light question. So let me just read it again so I'll break it down for you. What lights should you use when you're driving on a wet motorway and vehicles are throwing up spray? This bog standard light question, the answer is always going to be dipped headlights or headlights. It's the same thing. So sometimes they can just drop the dipped. It makes it sound like a different light, but it's not. Dipped headlights / headlights are the same thing. So if it's a bog standard light question, which this is, you're going for dipped headlights. If it's any other lights they want you to use, it's going to be in the question. So example, you're driving in fog lights, you're parked on the road, you're 30 miles an hour or more. What should you do? Leave parking lights on. The clue's in the question. So in this case, bog standard, dipped. What's the speed limit for a car towing a caravan on a dual carriageway? So read the question carefully because there's a clue in there. Right, so I need to go back to the comments because you guys disappeared. The comments disappeared as well when it went off. Striker, I'm assuming that says fail. I failed my test for the second time, but I'm not if it was a problem with the system because the questions was easy. That doesn't make sense. I'll be honest with you, because if the questions was easy, the question you got to ask yourself is how come you got 34? 49 out of 75. First of all, you passed the hazard perception, but I wouldn't neglect that because 49 is just a pass. I know you need 44, but it's only 5 over. So if you're getting in the 40s, there's still an issue with that. I would look at the breakdown of your hazard perception, see why you got 49, whether it's how many zeros, ones, twos, because the average is just a little bit more than 3. So I wouldn't neglect that. The question side of things, that's back to basics, unfortunately. If you're getting 34, there's an issue with your understanding. Not what you want to hear, I know, but we've got to be real. Like I said, failing the test is data. So you need to use the data to improve. If you've got 34, there's an issue with your learning because there's no way you should be going for a theory test and getting 34s. 40, 41, 42, Okay, but 34, no. So there's an issue with your understanding. And you're saying the questions was easy as well. So I would go back to basics. If you was my student, this is what I would do with you. Go back to basics. What I mean by that, study each category in turn and then do mock test again and then see what scores you're trying to get, because 34 suggests there's a lack of understanding on your part, especially when you're putting in your words the questions was easy. 8. But like I said, whatever score you get on the theory, this is for all of you, whatever score you get on theory test is data. As much as you feel upset, bad, blah, 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 disillusioned, all the rest of it, it's data to make you improve. That's what mistakes are. It's the same thing what you do on your driving tests, driving lessons. You make mistakes to get better. You don't go on the driving lesson to not make any mistakes. That doesn't make any sense. So I'm just trying to find the 8s. And I know some of you are going to be saying, yeah, but if I'm making mistakes in my driving lesson, then what's the point? You are allowed to make mistakes on your driving test. Just in case you guys don't know how it works. On the driving test, you're not allowed any S's, which is serious mistakes. You're not allowed any D's, which is dangerous, because those type of 2 mistakes would lead to an accident or could lead to an accident. But you're allowed minors. Now, this is the way that I explain to my students. You're allowed 15 minors on a driving test and still pass with no S's or D's. So if you are allowed 15 minors, then why are we trying to do a driving lesson with no mistakes at all? That doesn't make any sense. There's too much pressure. So what we do is a driving lesson. We try to reduce the minors, don't get me wrong. But we don't go for a driving lesson and go for 0 faults, because that's too much pressure. Every time you make a mistake, you're going to start beating yourself up. Hello, and how are you? Right, so most of you have gone for B. And also as well, let me just deal with this and explain what I'm talking about as well, because I can't multitask. What's the speed limit for a car towing a caravan on a dual carriageway? And you lot went for B. Right, let me break it down for you again, because B is the correct answer, but just in case you guys don't know, this is how I explain to my pupils in the boot camp and in the car. Worry about what you can do, because that's what you're doing. You're doing a car driving lesson, car theory test. So a car could do 70 on a dual carriageway. And then when they're asked about the towing vehicle or heavy goods vehicle, you just drop it by 10. So you can do 70, but because you're towing, you just drop it by 2. The answer was 60. Why is a toucan crossing different from a puffin crossing? So why is a toucan crossing different from a puffin crossing? The other thing I was saying about making mistakes, think about your theory test. It's 50 questions. You're allowed to make 7 mistakes and still pass. So again, why are we going for perfection? You're going for passing the theory test. Ideally, I always say aim for 50. That's a different story. Because if you aim high and you miss it, you should fall over the line. So if you aim for 50 but get 48, 47, 46, 45, 44, 43 even, you fall over the line. But if you aim for 43 and you mess up, you fall behind the line, which is going to be a fail. So you are allowed to make mistakes, i.e. get questions wrong on your theory test. So don't aim too high or put pressure on yourself, because that's another reason why you can fail, because the pressure is just too great. Hello and welcome. Brenda, good morning to you. Score 48 out of 50, so you missed a magical 50 by 2, and 63 out of 75, which is a high score. Thank you for your kind words. I appreciate that. Thank you for coming to the live. I've not seen your name before, so I'm assuming you're either new or silent watcher, but thank you very much. Appreciate it. It's Francis, I get what you're saying. It's good to cover the questions that could come up, but I don't look at it as cover the questions that can come up. I look at understanding the question, understanding the answer. it comes up, it comes up. Because again, I use the boot camp. I keep talking about the boot camp a lot. It's interesting what's happening in there. What some of them realize, because some of them are taking driving lessons, and what some of them realize when we're going through the boot camp, some of those questions, especially when we did road signs and road markings, they realize that they spot those type of things when they're driving. So I don't see it as covering the question that's come up in the theory test. I see it coming up the theory side of driving, which you need for your driving lessons. As I keep saying, some of you are seeing the theory test as a means to take a driving test. Yes, you got to pass the theory test to take a driving test, but what you guys are missing, you need the theory test for your driving test. Because if your knowledge is still weak, let's just say you scraped it, 43 out of 50. So you got to pass, but let's say you got a lot of road signs wrong, a lot of road markings wrong. When you go for your driving lesson and your driving test, guess what? If those road signs and road markings pop up, you ain't going to know what they mean, which means you're not going to act in the right manner, which means you're going to fail your driving test. But you failed it not because you can't drive, you failed it because you didn't understand what the road markings was, or you didn't understand what the road signs were, or you didn't understand what the rules of the roads are. So yes, in a way you want to cover the question that comes up, but you're covering what you're going to need for your driving test, which covers the theory test anyway. That's the way you want to look at it. 9, sorry, rambling on. It's really important that you guys understand you need this knowledge for the next stage. It's not just pass, forget it, leave it on the shelf. You're going to need it for your driving lessons. So the more you understand now, the easier your driving lesson is going to be. Thank you. Right, C's coming. Yeah, that's what 2 can, just in case you didn't know, 2 can cross at the same time, cyclists and pedestrians. Puffins are sensors, by the way, just in case you didn't know. When should you use the right-hand lane of a 3-lane dual carriageway? When should you use the right-hand lane? Okay, there's a clue in there as well, so break it down. When is the next boot camp? I registered, but I can't remember when. I have not been joining the lives due. It's Sunday now. Please, when is the next boot camp? I registered, but I can't remember when. Okay, let me just double check that now. Did you sign up under that name that you got on? Is that your YouTube name? Right. 24th of Feb. I've got you down for 24th of February for you is your bootcamp day. You will get I send out the emails the weekend before. So you should get yours next Friday or Saturday morning. So I normally send it out Friday or Saturday morning, depending on how busy my week's been. So you'll get your email with all the information that you need for Monday, 24th. So you get it at the weekend. So you're sorted. I'll see you in there as well. Kelvin. Passed the theory test first attempt. Congratulations. 63 on the hazard perception. Anything for me personally in the 57s upwards, I think is a brilliant score under test situations. So congratulations to you for passing. And we are on 10. So let's find 10. Also, you said you can't remember the dates. Once you sign up, you get your email from Zoom with the link. It's got your booking date on there. Again, some of you still not putting the question numbers on there. I can't put your name up if you don't put the question number I don't know if, like, I got some 9s and 8s coming through. That's the reason why you need to put the question number up, because there's a delay. And if your internet connection is really slow, you're way behind everybody else. Right, B seems to common answer, sorry. Yeah, I said the clues in the question, which is dual carriageway. Dual carriageway, you can overtaking and turning right, which this is the answer. If it was a motorway, it's only for overtaking because you can't turn right on a motorway. Where's the safest place to park your vehicle at night? The key word there is safest. Annabelle, how do you register for a boot camp? It is on the website, which is www.drivingferryuk.com, and all the information is on there. And the boot camps every Monday. Well, it's 5 days. It starts on every Monday, so you can choose any Monday that's suitable for you. 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. We do the Zoom training sessions. If you can't make the sessions, ideally it's designed for you to turn up live on a training session, but understand work, college, uni, whatever you do gets in the way. If you can't attend any of the training sessions, don't sign up for the bootcamp. That's not what it's about, for me anyway. It's not about people just watching the replays. It's about you turning up, being live, interactive, asking questions. You're going to learn a lot more and you have a better chance of passing. So if you can't attend the sessions, the bootcamp isn't for you. Let me just make that quite clear. If you can attend at least 3 out of the 5, then yeah, sign up, because you get a replay and you can watch the replays. And I've now added 21 days access to extra training materials where I've recorded every single question in the app. I've recorded every single answer in the app, and you've got access to watch that within 21 days. So if you struggle on road signs, you can just go to the road sign category. All the questions has been answered, and there's extra videos in there and PDFs that covers tricky words, tricky questions, blah, blah, blah. So it's comprehensive. So it's not just the 5 days, you get extra training material as well. Number 11. Florence, you're new. Welcome. Hopefully you're well. C is the obvious answer or common answer. Yeah, lock it up. When are you not allowed to sound your vehicle's horn? It's a bit interesting to see what you lot go for. Where the carriageway located? Not understanding what you're asking there, but the carriageway is what you drive on. That's what they call a carriageway. It's carriage. It's back in the day with horse and cart, which is called a carriage. That's what it's called, a carriageway. So the carriageway is what you are driving on. So dual carriageway, it's got a crash barrier in the middle, and a single carriageway has got nothing in the middle. That's the difference. But a carriageway is what you drive on, if that's what you're asking. If it isn't, make your question a bit more clear so I can answer it for you. You booked your theory test on the 23rd of March. I failed my first attempt, 41. So that's 9 questions wrong. Hazard perception 58. So you got the hazard perceptions nailed. That's why I registered for the boot camp. I pray I don't miss it. And when did you book it for? The 24th. And we're a short month in February, 24th, 31. Yeah, it's done at the right time. 5 days. You got the extra material. Yeah, so you've already got your date booked, which means you signed up. Right. So what you want to do over the probably Tuesday, Wednesday next week, check your emails on a regular basis, because the 21 days access will be live to you. I will be sending you all the students in the bootcamp will get the link, and you'll have 21 days access from that day. So it's going to have extra training material so you can start in there before your bootcamp starts. So like I said, you should get that Tuesday or Wednesday. I've got a test run the back end. It won't be today because I'm going to take a break after the live, but probably Monday when I finish my course, the driving, I'm going to come home and test it before the bootcamp starts. So Tuesday or Wednesday, you should get a link. You'll have 21 days access, so you can start straight away in that. And then I can fill in the gaps on the live sessions, and we'll get that 41 to the pass mark that you need to get. So fingers crossed, come 3rd of March, that shouldn't be a problem. But if I would urge you though to try and turn up to the live sessions, and that will, can't guarantee anything, but that would almost guarantee you passing if you already got 41, because the knowledge is there, just needs tweaking. So you are on the right path. Right, B is the majority. Good morning and welcome. Right, B is the common answer. Well done to most. To be fair, all of you, because all have got B. Not many people know that. Between 11:37 a.m. is when you shouldn't use your horn. Technically, after that time is classed as disturbing the peace. What should you do when you're leaving your vehicle parked and unattended? Passed for a first attempt. So first of all, congratulations. 47 out of 50. And 59, again, another high score, 59 out of 75. Well done. Congratulations. Thank you first and foremost for coming to the live and letting me know that you've passed. Appreciate that. And if you're still here, let me know what you're doing next. Are you going to book driving lessons or driving test? Again, that's a common answer. There's no context to the question on that one when I get asked. So I've got to say 30 miles now. If you're coming for a dual carriageway, it normally means you're going back into a built-up area. And if you're going into a built-up area, street lights, 30 miles now. If there's more context to the question, it could be a different answer. But normally, there's only 2 set speeds on the road that the theory test can really use. Well, 3 set speeds. Dual carriageway, 70 miles an hour. Motorway, 70 miles an hour. Single carriageway, 60 miles an hour. Then a built-up area of 30 miles an hour. So if you're coming off the dual carriageway, like I said, it normally means you're going back into a built-up area. So the answer is going to be 30 miles an hour, unless they gave you more context to the question. 13. A, common. Lock it and remove the key. Yeah, once you remove the key, technically no one can steal it. Or they've got to go to more trouble to steal it. And that's all you want to do is put resistance in a thief's way. So yeah, lock it up. What type of vehicle displays this yellow sign? Again, look at the image. There's a little bit of a clue there. Caesar, is the highway code is as important as the mock test and hazard perception? Yes and no. Let me explain. All right, try and keep this simple. The highway code is the examiner's Bible. That's what I normally say to my students. So the highway code is the examiner's Bible for driving test I'm talking about. It's got the rules and regulations for every road user, whether you walk, cycle, horse rider, and your guys' cases, you're a car driver. So it's got the rules in there. If you break the rules and regulations in the highway code, you're going to fail your driving test. But if you understand the rules and regulations, you can bend them for your driving test. So you're not breaking them, you're just bending them in a certain way. So that's for your driving test. For your theory test, not necessarily. If you, like I said, if you study all the categories, you won't need the highway code. But if you've got time on your hands and you want to study in depth, you can use the highway code alongside your the apps and stuff. But for me personally, but everyone's different. That's why I say if you've got time, yes, it could be beneficial. But for me, like I got dyslexia, me reading books without pictures is not going to help me. I'm a visual person, so me doing the highway code is not going to work for me. So you have to do what's right for you. But you can pass the theory test without using the highway code. It's a simple answer. But again, if you're using the 4-in-1 app, like I recommend, the Driving to Success, it's got the highway code built in. So you don't have to buy the book itself. It's actually built in to the app itself. 14. Okay, you're looking to book driving lessons. My advice is try to get on it as soon as possible. Because there's a shortage of instructors, so you may need to wait a time before you can get find an instructor. So you don't have to wait for your point in time. Let's just say, for example, you say, could you pass your theory test, haven't you? So let me just go back to the... So you passed your theory test. Let's just say, for argument's sake, you want to take your driving lessons in April. There's nothing wrong with trying to find an instructor now and get them reserved for April. But if you wait to April, you may not find one, especially a good one anyway, because come April, May, June, July, August, and a bit of September, we as instructors get really busy because everyone wants to learn for the summer before they go back to college, uni, whatever it is they do. So I would source your instructor now and try to reserve them if you don't want to take lessons straight away. And the common answer is D. It's going to be a school bus. On the real test, they're starting to put on the side of a school bus, back of a school bus, front of a school bus. As long as it's got the word a school bus, that's the answer you want to go for. Don't care where they're trying to pull it, whether it's back, front, or side. As long as it's on a school bus, it's going to be the correct answer. A single carriageway has this sign. What's the maximum permitted speed for a car towing a trailer? Florence. I live in Essex. What part of Essex? I was down there the other day. I live in Essex. How do I join the boot camp? My theory test is 4th of March. I failed the previous one, got 42. 8 questions wrong, but 1 short. And 67 on the hazard perception, which is really, really high. The boot camp's not area related. It's online. It's online via Zoom. Again, join the boot camp by going onto the website www.drivingtheoryuk, which is the same name as the YouTube channel.com, and it's on there. And then again, similar to, I can't remember her name, if your test is on the 4th of March, then you're looking to book for the 24th of February, which is Monday week. So if you're interested in the boot camp and you want to try and pass it, again, with you getting one question short, I hate using the word one question short, but if you're one short, the boot camp should push you over the edge on that to make sure, again, I can't guarantee it because it's down to you to do the work, but you should be passing on the next time round. So it's literally a week before your test. So yeah, go to www.drivingtheoryuk.com and you're looking to book for the 24th of February, which is the week before your test. And literally by the time you finish the course and you got access with the extra training, you should be good to go on the 4th. And hopefully pass it as well. 15. Right, some of you still not putting the question numbers. We're 15 and we're still not putting the question numbers in. So I don't know if you're on number 15 or it's before, because I can see some 11s and 12s coming in. And that's the reason why I can't put your name up, because I don't know if it's for the question we're on. Southend. I was in Canvey Islands 2 weeks ago. But in saying that, I go to, that's because of football. I play football on a Saturday, and every other week we're sort of in Essex. But when I was younger, I used to go Southend quite a lot. So the seaside down there. Single carriageway is D. Right, let me break this down for you, because some of you are going for different answers. I've got C, D, and I think I saw an A somewhere. C, D, and A. So D seems to be the common answer. Let me just tick D for now. A single carriageway road has this sign. That's the national speed limit, if you guys don't know. What's the maximum permitted speed for a car towing a trailer? Again, single carriageway is the key. You, as a car driver, can do 60 on a single carriageway. Because you're towing, drop it by 10, it becomes 50 miles an hour. So again, let me just close this down. You need to really break, especially if you're struggling on things like this, know what the sign is, national speed limit for the road you're driving on. A single carriageway, as I said, is 60 for a car, but read the question fully. It's got trailer. So you drop it by 10, becomes 50. Your vehicle breaks down on the motorway and you need to call for help. Why might it be better to use an emergency roadside telephone rather than a mobile phone? Right. What would you recommend and why? Learning auto or manual transmission car? I can't answer that, and I don't like answering that because it's a personal thing. Yeah, it's personal. Automatic, manual, it's your choice. I can't answer that. If you haven't got a preference and you're in and are in, I would go down the manual route. And the reason why, because I'm biased, I teach manual. And not only that is because you have the choice of both. So once you pass in the manual, you can drive an automatic. Once you learn in an automatic, let's rephrase that. Once you pass your test in an automatic, you're stuck with automatic. You can't drive a manual. If you want to drive a manual at a later date, you've got to take another test. I would suggest, again, this is talking to people that I know, who's got sons, daughters. If they're young, want to learn, unless they have a disability of some kind, because that's what automatics are designed for originally, for disabilities, because it can be adapted. I would always suggest go for a manual, because when you're young, you don't know where your path's going to take you. For example, I think my son wanted to learn in an automatic. It was never going to happen, learning automatic. He done manual because obviously I taught manual, and he's got options of doing this. But whereas if he stuck with the automatic, half his options that he's went down, he couldn't do. So that's the reason why. So I'd always suggest, if you're young and you're able, do manual. So it gives you both, because like I said, you've got a long life ahead of you. If you're older, again, in the boot camp, there's lots of older people in there, in their 40s, families. They'd rather do automatic because they pretty much know they're going to be stuck with that. So it's a personal thing. But like I said, if you've got choices, take driving lessons in both, see which one's right for you. Because a lot of people stress about the gears in the manual, but they haven't tried it. Try it first. Gears are, again, if you get a decent instructor, gears ain't going to be a problem. But if you get an instructor who's impatient, then yeah, it can be an issue. A is common. Yep, easy location. If you're using your mobile, you don't know where you're, got to tell them where you're at. So by using the phone, they normally can log in your details from the SOS phones. That's another way they word it, not just emergency phones, SOS phones, just in case you go for the real test and you see SOS phones and you think what they're talking about the emergency phones on the motorway. When may you drive over a pavement? No problem. Morning, Nikki, first and foremost. Unfortunately, even if it was, it doesn't mean I can teach you. But it's a nice thought. Sam, 47 out of 50. Well, that's 63, 75. Well done to you, Sam, for passing and getting high score on both of them, to be fair. 17. Go. Right, D, let's come on. Answer. No, I don't see a difference of opinion on that. So you all decide that D is the best to gain access to a property. In other words, driveway. An injured motorcyclist is lying unconscious in the road. The traffic has stopped and there's no further danger. What could you do to help? Right, it's 18. What were we on? 18, 18D. And then we've got C's. Hi, Marie. How are you? I'm fine. Right, most of you started off with a D, but most of you have gone for C, so I've got to assume C's correct. All right, let's tick C. What was D? Remove. No. Breaking it down. An injured motorcyclist is lying unconscious in the road. The traffic has stopped and there's no further danger. What could you do to help? Seek medical assistance. Not remove their safety helmet. The helmet's designed to protect the skull. You don't know what's going on underneath there. And that's another fairy test question. You're only going to remove the helmet if it's essential. Otherwise, in other meanings, need to give first aid or help them breathe. You're never going to remove the helmet first. Always seek medical assistance. You're driving a friend's children. You're driving a friend's children home from school. They're both under 14 years old. Who's responsible for making sure they wear a seatbelt or approved child restraint where required? C before D, exactly. Seek medical assistance first, and then you can worry about helmets afterwards. I just showed 18A. That's the wrong answer. It's got to be 19. I'm assuming, Marie, you meant 19. $2K1V. Not seen your name before, so welcome to you. All A's at the moment. Private accounts. Not seen your name before. Liverpool emblem in there. Must be loving the season so far. Right, A is common answer. Yeah, it's going to be you, the driver. Once you jump in the driver's seat, you are legally responsible for anything and everything that goes on within the vehicle. So you must make sure they're strapped in. If it gets stopped, you're the one paying the fine. Last one. Which vehicle should you allow extra room as you overtake them? Still got the 19s coming through, so that's fine. Again, Marty, I've not seen your name before, so welcome to you. And you guys are all going for C's, so got to assume C's correct. Oh, got a D here. What's this say? I looked at your YouTube videos 4 days and was able to pass favorite on the 5th day. You're a great teacher. Thank you for your kind words, Chucky. Appreciate that. Thank you for coming to the live and let me know how you got on. No problem. It's Sunday. I just appreciate you guys, like I said, taking time out on a Sunday morning to be here. Right. What was it? Common answer C, wasn't it? C. But yeah, bicycle cyclists always, because cyclists swerve. So you want to give them more room. For those of you not taking driving lessons, it's a meter clearance. As instructors, we always say leave a meter clearance past bikes and cars. Right, so go back to, for those of you that was right here at the beginning, when I said your 50 questions is made up out of the 14 categories. So this is a 20 question mock test. Hopefully you guys can see this. So this is a breakdown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 categories. So obviously on your 50 question mock test, you will get a question from all 14. I think there's 9 categories it's given me here. So vulnerable road users, 4. Rules of the road, 6. That's a lot for a 20 question. Documents, 1. Hazard and awareness, 2. Road and traffic signs, which people stresses out on the real test, only 1. Safety margins, 1. Safety in your vehicle, 3. Motorway rules, 1. Incident, accidents and emergency, 1. So for example, if I was weak on vulnerable road users and rules of the road, that's 10. It's possible that I can get at least 10 wrong if I was weak on that. Obviously, if I got 10 questions wrong on my 50 question mock test, that's game over. So that's the reason why I suggest you study each category. I know it's long. You think, why do I need to just study 50 each category? Why not just do mock test after mock test? Because the app isn't designed to, let me go to this one. The app isn't designed to give you all questions. It will give you repeated questions. So if you don't expose yourself to all 770 plus questions, you may not see them on the app. Then obviously when you go for the real test, you have no idea what they're talking about in certain questions. That's why I suggest you do each category individually and then build up to a mock test, and then making sure when you do mock test after mock test, your weakest category doesn't get shown up on a regular basis. So if you're passing mock test, for example, again, just say you're getting 47 out of 50, for example, it's nice to pass, but if road signs kept coming up as your weakest category, guess what? You should be going back and checking your road signs, because there's no way on earth you should be doing mock tests and getting the same category weakness, same category all the time, because it shows there's a lack of knowledge. And like I said, if you got, let me go back to this one. If you got rules of the road as your weakest categories on your mock test, and then you go for the real test, and then you got 6 of them, and it's possible now you can get 6 questions wrong, you're already at 44 before you even really get going. So that's the reason why I say study each category, understand the questions, understand the answers. So no matter how they word it, you are going to be fine. Right, let me just catch up with what you guys are saying. Someone's gone for Laurie. No problem. I'm glad you learned something from it. But there you go, you see. You already know your weakness. And that's what I said. Failing mock tests at home and failing the real test. Like I said, you don't want to fail the real test. Like I said, it's disappointing, but it's data. It gives you knowledge. And that's what you guys got to understand. You're trying to gain knowledge. No problem. Right, so what I'm going to do is a hazard perception. And what I've realized, I didn't set my iPad up before the start. So hopefully it connects straight away. Otherwise, we've got an issue. Right, before we do this, let me show you what the hazard perception is about. iPad. Well done, showed up. Right, so for those of you that don't know, thank you for being here. Hazard perception is you checking the mirrors, okay? And the mirrors is a massive part of your driving test. So as you're driving around, the examiner's just literally watching you to see if you check the mirrors at the right times. It's only 3 occasions. There's other occasions you should be checking that's more for your benefit. But for the driving test, if you look at box 14, this green sheet, you can't see it at the top. It's a driving test report sheet. So pass or fail, you're going to get a copy of this in your inbox. They email it to you now because they've gone to iPads, similar to what I'm showing you here. So if you look at box 14, use of mirrors before you signal, before you change direction and change a speed. That's your hazard perception when you're doing your video. So when you see a problem, you should be checking your mirrors before you change direction, change the speed on the videos I'm talking about, because obviously on the videos, you can't see if the car is signaling. So that's what you're looking for, is anything that's going to cause you to slow down, which would be in a real life driving, it'd be your main mirror. And if you are changing direction, it's going to be your main mirror and the equivalent door mirror. So if you're going to go left, it's a main mirror, left door mirror. If you're going right, main mirror, right door mirror. So when you're doing your videos, that's what you're doing when you're clicking. You're checking your mirrors. So hopefully we all understand that bit. So now let me go to come out of that. And then we're looking for hazard perception. Right, so now let me explain. Hazard perception. I repeat, there's 14 videos. 13 of them have single hazards. One of them's got a double hazard on it. And you just need to keep clicking, basically, if you don't know which one's got a double hazard. You need 3 on average, minimum per video. Ideally, you want to score 4s and 5s. So I repeat, there's 2 types of hazards on the video. There's potential, that could have been a problem, and there's developing, which will become a problem. And that's the one you want to be clicking on and scoring for. Ideally, you want to do 2 clicks per problem. See a problem, you click, and then you go 1, 2, and you click again. I know in the videos it says if you click early enough, you get the highest mark, but students take that the wrong way. They mean see it as early as possible. That's how they take it, and click, and you're going to get the highest mark. No, there's a countdown window. You got 5 down to 1. Your clicking here is where it counts. So if you click outside of the countdown window, it's a 0. So when they say click as early as possible, to mean early as you see it within the countdown window. That's what they mean. So let's just see what it. You've got this lecture sent to me, and I cannot read and write 3 hours a day studying. Well done to you. Congratulations. And you've put the work in 3 hours a day. Well done. I appreciate you guys coming here and letting me know how you got on. So again, I love this because what he's put in, he's actually got out of it. You have to put some work in. You've got to put studying time in. It doesn't come to you. Same thing like in the boot camp where they expect me to just give them the answer. I tried to challenge them to think about why they chose the answers. Because it's easy for me to give the answer, but if I give you not retaining that information, but if you think about why you should have chose that answer, it retains more. But well done to you, Stephen. Anyway, back to the video. So what you want to do, like I said, see the problem, click, go 1, 2, and then click again. Do not click on things that don't exist. Only click on things that's a problem. So I'm going to demonstrate this now. So if you've got any questions, type it in the chat while I'm doing this, and then hopefully I can answer that. But hopefully it makes sense. So let me show you my iPad. Let's go for real life first. Just click on that section. What this ain't got no. Right, this one has got no stars. So which means I haven't done it before. So hopefully you guys can see that. With the van parked up on the pavement, I'm going to click because I've got to move to the right. And when you're doing this, you want to look all the way down the road as far as you can see. Taking road signs, so it said the road bends to the left. Side road, nothing coming out of it. Don't have to worry. So when you're doing this as well, scan from pavement to pavement. That's where road signs are. So there's nothing going on at the moment. No need for me to click. Car coming out. Car parked up on the left. So I'm going to have to shift to the right. Again, car parked up on the right. And the car moving off from the left. But keep going because you don't know if there's a double on this one. And again, there's nothing going on. So what did it give me? 3 out of 5. Well, that's poor, but if that's my real test, you can't see it. Let me scroll it down so you can see it. 3 out of 5. So if that's my real test, it's not a big problem because you got to average minimum of 3. So let's review it back. Always review back to see how you can improve. So let me just speed it up for the sake of the video. So that's where I clicked for the car parked up. Now you see that's when the car starts to move. So I don't see how I could have got a score earlier than that. Let me just replay it back so you guys can see it. Because it's saying there's a 5 here, but I can't see the car moving until now. So literally when I saw it move, that's when I clicked. So I can't see how I can get a 5 any sooner. But that's what happens on a real life clip. I will add, when you go for your real test, they're all CGIs. And that's the reason why, because when they done a real life clip, the failure rate was higher because they didn't respond in the right manner. But I'm not going to make excuses. I got 3 out of 5. Any question? Let me just see what you guys are saying in the chat. George, welcome back. Yeah, definitely. That's our experience as well, because I do intensive courses, just in case you guys don't know. So we do the theory side of it along with the driving side of it. And when they do the two together, the theory and the theory and the driving together, the driving comes along so much quicker because they're applying the theory side of it and it has perception to the driving lesson. So there's no questions. I'm assuming you guys fully understand that. But I'll do another demonstration just in case. Remember, if you've got any questions or doubts, put in the chat because I am keeping an eye on that. So let me do a real life one. Sorry, CGI. I think I've done all of them. Let's see if anything starts. Let's do this one. Let's give it the comment. So again, look into the bend. Bravo Hill Bridge, I can't see. Oh, there's police. That's right at the beginning of the video, so still keep going just in case. It's a double. Cyclist, that was late. I was talking. National speed limit. Single carriageway, so it'd be 60. Again, I don't see nothing going on at the moment, even though it says 20 on the floor. Still nothing going on for me to be slowing down or changing direction with. Technically, I can't see around the bend, so I could click for that. Because you should go slowly into the bend, accelerate out. Still can't see nothing going on, so I don't need to click. And it's 8 out, so it's a double, 8 out of 10. So again, let me drag it down so you guys can see. 8 out of 10. And again, review, because ideally looking for 10 out of 10. So there's my first click, and there's my second. They'll always give it a high score. That's one thing I should say. So I'm assuming that's the 5. So they will always give it a high score. So if the first one lands in the 5 in my case, and the second one landed in the 3, they'll always give it the highest mark. So there's no benefit in clicking once. Lots of benefits in clicking twice, but no benefit in clicking once. And then, so if that's a 5, that must mean this was a 3. And I did say it was late, I was talking, didn't see the cyclist. And there you go. So 8 out of 10. And so let me break this down for you, because on my first clip, let me come out of this so you guys can see me clearly. On my first clip, if you remember, I got a 3. On this, on my double, I got an 8. So if you add the two together, 3 videos technically, because if you've got 2, you've got to count as, if you've got 10, you've got to count as 2. So it's 2 videos plus the 3. 8 and 3 is 11. So if you divide that, technically I got a 3. I'm averaging a little bit more than 3. That's what I'm talking about. So even though I got a 3 on my first one, you can bring your average up over the next following videos. So don't start worrying whether you're getting a 2 or a 1, because you can still pass with 4s and 5s. I think the couple of guys who passed in the comments earlier on said they got 0s on their videos. You can still pass with a few 0s. So it's about averaging more than 3 when you finish on the 14th video, if that makes sense. All right, let me just quickly catch up with what you guys are saying. Ruth, I'll say this every single week. If you are counting, first of all, if you're asking how many clicks you can do, you're going into the has perception wrong. That's not what you're looking for. You're not looking to count your clicks. You're wasting brain power. Makes no sense because you're already in a stressful state when you're on a test to watch the videos, when to click, and you're now going to add counting your clicks. But you're going, anyone who wants to count their clicks, you're going into the hazard perception wrong. You're going to look for problems. If you look for problems and you click on problems, the clicks doesn't matter. And I'll demonstrate that for you. But the answer to your question in simple terms, nobody knows how many clicks you can do because every video is different. Some will allow you X amount, some will allow you Y amount. But I repeat, if you're going into the video worrying about counting the clicks, the chances are you're going to fail, to be fair. You should be going into the videos looking for problems, end of. Because if you find it, you're passing. I've been trying to book practical tests, but there's no available in the next 3 months. Is that normal? If there's 3 months, yeah, there's no test dates in the next 6 months. So it is normal. Just the way is the DVSA is trying to work on that with the bots and people buying up tests and charging an arm and a leg. You need to keep going on there on a regular basis. The DVSA releases test dates every Monday morning at 6 a.m. So you may want to log on before that and see if you can snap up the new ones that come out. Yeah, all the new tests, are CGIs. So they're not old school clips, they're all CGIs. Obviously you're doing it on a bigger screen for those of you who do it on your phone, and it's a crystal clear. And based on the feedback we get from our students, the real test is slightly slower than the app, so you've got more time to see the problems. See, there you go. Chucky's saying he's got 2 zeros and still got above 50. Right, so let me show you something else. I think it was Ruth that was saying about counting your clicks. Let's do... Let's do this one. iPad. So what's the best way to demonstrate this for Ruth? All right, let me count my clicks and see what happens. So I'm just going to click and count and see what happens. Can't see. Over the hill. Road to my right, there could be something there. Cars parked up on the left. That's 2, 4, 6. Someone crossing the road. 8. 10. Cars parked up. 14. Can't see around the bend. That's 16. Cars parked up. 18. Can't see around the bend. That's 20 clicks. Nothing else going on. And still gave me, what's that? 3 out of 5. 20 clicks. That video allowed me 20 clicks, didn't kick me out. Was it worth me counting the clicks and adding more pressure to myself? No. Let me show you how it should be done. Let me just show you the video back, how it looks with red flags all over the place. That's how that looks, because I counted clicks. Now, this is how it should be done. As I said, when you go into a video, you should be looking for problems that exist. Stuff that's going to cause you to slow down or change direction. So there's 20 clicks. What's the difference? I've got to come back out. I think it was this one. Right, so over the brow of the hill, I can't see, so there could be something there. You definitely want to be clicking on that. But there's nothing to the side road. Cars are parked up on the left, but doesn't affect, so on the right doesn't affect me. Someone is in the roads, and that car's now reversing. I'm already out to the right with the white van, so I don't need to be checking because I'm already out to the right. I can look into the bend, so the car's parked up. I can click on that because I'm going to have to move out to the right to the middle of the road. And again, there's nothing else going on that's going to cause me to change direction at this precise moment. And again, there's nothing going on. There's nothing for me to hit, nothing for me to slow down for. I don't even know how many clicks that was. Again, because I didn't count it because I'm just looking for problems. Let me see what I got on this one. And that one's 5 out of 5. All because I didn't count clicks or worrying about what was going on. All I did was look for problems that exist. That's the difference. And like I said, I don't even know how many clicks I did on this video. So let's take a look at that. Oh, start again. All right, let me start again. Sorry, that's my fault. Let's call it 8 clicks. But the point I'm trying to make with that one, by me not worrying about counting clicks, I did not click late where I got 3 out of 5 on the first one. I'm trying to count clicks. All I did was go into the video, look for what's caused me a problem, and just click on that. I will repeat to all of you guys, if you are going, I don't know if you meant clicks or clips. There's only 14 videos, if that's what you mean, 14 video clips. Or maybe you meant the clicks I did. But the point I'm making is, anyway, do not go into your hazard perception counting clicks. That's the wrong way of doing it. What you're doing is going into the videos, looking for problems, and just click on problems. Like I said, if you click on problems, it's not going to be too many unless you're going crazy and clicking 4 or 5 times on one problem. Then yes, it's going to add up. Change your mindset if you counting clicks. I know there's lots of rumors out there, myths. Oh yeah, but you can't click more than this. You can't click. Trust me, I teach it. So if I'm telling you don't count your clicks, then you can pretty much take my word for it. But in my experience, students who go in counting clicks tend to fail because you're worried about clicking too many times and all the rest of it. Right. I don't see any other comments about the hazard perception on there. So again, I'll give it a few. I can't get my words out. I know there's a delay on YouTube. Let me know if you want another demonstration before we sign out. If you've got any last minute questions, type it in the chat so I can answer it, especially if you've got a test coming up this week. So hopefully you guys learned something from that. Yes, hopefully you learned something from the mock test and the hazard perception. Right, I don't see any comments coming through, so let me get this out of the way then. So hopefully you guys learned something from that. For those of you who've got a test coming up this week, I wish you luck with it. Please come back next Sunday on the live and let us know how you got on. For those of you that want to sign up to the boot camp, it's www.drivingtheoryuk.com, and you can go on there and it explains what you're getting, how it works, and you can sign up for there. Choose your Monday that's suitable for you, and then we go from there, and I'll catch you in the boot camp. But otherwise, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Stay safe regardless of what you decide to do, and I will catch all of you back here next Sunday, hopefully. Take care. Have a good one.